What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my match review, match analysis and match reaction of Manchester City's victory over Sheffield United in the Premier League, with City winning at the Etihad Stadium by 2-0 to close out their 2023 calendar year with a good solid win in what has been very much Manchester City's year, winning 5 trophies, breaking records left, right and centre, completing football, winning a treble, winning our first Champions League. What a year it has been. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email those in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and do leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. So I'm going to crack on with this video and I'm going to give my thoughts of this. We're going to start off with the team news. I thought Matheus Nunes might have started for Manchester City in this game. It was Mateo Kovacic given the nod instead in midfield for Manchester City. Other changes, of course, we saw the injury to John Stones meant Manuel Akanji was going to push more into defensive midfield and support Rodri, which meant we're going to go with Nathan Ake going through the middle as our centre-back, with what you'd think would be Kyle Walker on the right-hand side and Josko Gvardiol on the left-hand side. And very interestingly, during that game, you saw more and more, in particular when the substitutions were made in the second half, you were seeing Manchester City really spreading and stretching the pitch through Josko Gvardiol and Kyle Walker. Now, if we're going to go down the route of Kyle Walker being more of a wing-back or a winger who's going to get forward, I think in the long term, over the next 12 to 18 months, I think it would be worthwhile Manchester City going into the market and having a look potentially at a winger or wing-back that can cover them positions, because I feel like with Kyle Walker, he's a brilliant defender, and I think at this moment in time you go with a flat back four or you go in with a back three and you're going to have him playing as a centre-back. You get the very best out of Kyle Walker, because at the end of the day, one of his best assets that he's got is Kyle Walker is quick, which means he snuffs out counter-attacks really well, and he's also very good at being able to nullify one player. You ask him to man-mark a player out of the game, he's very good at that. Now, what I don't think Kyle Walker is the best at is his ability to create, to put balls into the box, and become that attacking fullback, that attacking winger that Manchester City could be looking for. Now, I was more impressed on the left-hand side from Josko Gvardiol today in doing that role, mainly because his ball distribution, his ability to find a pass, and his ability to... he's basically an offensive defender for Manchester City. I do think you'd get the best out of him playing him as a centre-back going through the middle, potentially even into defensive midfield for Manchester City, rather than out wide. But I'd rather take that defensive responsibility away from him and go out there into the market. If you're not going to add wing backs to the market to the transfer list, then go out there and bring in a holding midfielder who's more than comfortable to drop deeper into that centre back role. I was expecting that to be Rodri, but he seemed to be getting further forward for Manchester City today, which I thought was at times leaving Manuel Akanji and Nathan Ake potentially exposed to the counter-attack. And I saw Sheffield United 2 or 3 times in particular in that little 5-minute phase that they had towards the end of the first half, where City weren't managing that situation as well as they could have, and I thought City were pretty lucky to come away without conceding a goal. In particular, I thought Sheffield United's best opportunity, which saw Manuel Akanji make a block with the toe end of his boot, luckily for Manchester City, it will look more than anything else. It's just good reading by Akanji, but the ball's literally just fired in at his feet. He doesn't know anything about it. Thankfully, it doesn't go into the back of the net, and it goes out for a corner instead, and Ederson ends up making a couple of saves at the end of the first half, and that's all Sheffield United really offered against Manchester City. So there's no harm done, but we go up against teams that are willing to have a little bit more of a pop at us, that aren't going to go with 11 men behind the ball like Sheffield United did today. Then potentially that might be something for City to think about. You know, you've got the January transfer window right around the corner. Could we go out there and bring a player in? Well, the talk of, maybe Sergio Gomez going out on loan, Kalvin Phillips expected to leave Manchester City, this thin squad that we've got, this small squad. I've never known it be as small under Pep Guardiola, and he likes to have a small squad. It's going to be even smaller by the end of January, I suspect, and there's talk that City aren't going to add anybody else into their first team squad, which going into a very important second half of the season for City, still competing for the Premier League, still competing for the Champions League, and still competing for the FA Cup as well. I think it'd be worthwhile exploring some kind of options, because you'd rather have them options and not use them than to not have them options and then need them and not have them already here, and you've chosen not to do anything about it, and it comes back to bite us on the backside come some point in March, April, May time, where hopefully Man City will foresee it. City are very good at managing these situations, so I have firm trust in the club that they'll make the changes that are necessary that they need to do. But the one thing that big bonus and big positive I've took away from this game, this negativity that seems to be around the squad and around the team. One win in 6 Premier League games, it was getting a bit poisonous around the fan base. I don't know if that was having an effect on the players on the pitch, but the confidence seems shot. They've gone to the Club World Cup, they've put in a couple of really good performances, kept some clean sheets, and all of a sudden City seem to be coming back, not playing to their full potential, but I feel like they're hitting 70-80%, which is enough to be beating a lot of the teams in the bottom half. It's certainly enough to be beating Everton and Sheffield United in particular. A well-managed second half against Everton, and I thought a well-managed game for City, because Sheffield United, they didn't give us an inch. There was very little for Manchester City to create today, and they still managed to come away with a couple of goals without Kevin De Bruyne on the pitch. It's great to see him return back to the squad, by the way. Shame we didn't get a couple of minutes out of him. You never know, maybe in the next game. No Jeremy Doku, no Erling Haaland. These are big absentees for Manchester City, yet they've still had enough to come out with a solid 2-0 victory, grab a couple of goals, good well-taken goal for Rodri in the first phase of the game, in the first 15 minutes, a well-taken goal by Julian Alvarez, great reading of the ball, great pass from Oscar Bobb, great pull from Phil Foden to be aware of the space, a couple assists for Phil Foden as well today, carrying on from his man of the match performance in the last game against Everton as well. I didn't think this was Phil Foden's best game. He's still come away with a couple of assists. He really is taking confidence away from that, so that's really good to see. I think there's a lot of positives to take from this result, and that's just it. The most important factor of any of them, City have 82% possession, 18 shots, 4 on target, not a great return, but what is the most important stat is City have found a couple of goals, got them 3 points, nearly went second. Aston Villa needed to get a last-minute winner against Burnley at Villa Park, and all of a sudden you put the pressure onto them, you put the pressure onto Arsenal, they've dropped down into 4th now, you put yourself further clear of Tottenham Hotspur in the race for maybe a Champions League place come the end of the season, and you stop thinking about that and you start thinking about who's Liverpool got in their next game. Well, to answer your question, guys, Newcastle at Anfield, so you keep your eyes on that. There's plenty of points still to be played. Manchester City, back-to-back victories in the Premier League, kept a clean sheet here today. We don't have to play again in the Premier League for a couple of weeks when we take on Newcastle away. Focus can be on the FA Cup. Games aren't coming thick and fast all of a sudden. I think things are pretty optimistic for City. If we can go out there and do a little bit of business in January, which is what I'd like to see City do, then I think Manchester City could be well prepared to potentially go on and make history and make it 4 Premier League trophies in a row. And that would make it a fantastic 2024. But 2023 is going to become soon a thing of the past, and we all love reminiscing about the good old days, the successful days, and there will come a day where me and you will sit down with people and you'll speak about the wonderful memories that you've had, and you will speak about 2023, the year that Manchester City won 5 trophies, the year of Manchester City winning the treble, the year that Manchester City finally won the Champions League, the year that Manchester City became club world champions, and now putting themselves competitively back into the Premier League, pressure applied to everybody else. My message to everybody else right now, we're into the second half of the season, the business end of the season. This is where you see the very best out of Manchester City. We've still got Doku to come, still got Haaland to come, Kevin De Bruyne is getting there as well. Exciting times for Manchester City. Rest of the Premier League, beware. So there we go. They have been my thoughts. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. We've got plenty more football and plenty more Manchester City content to come, including daily Manchester City transfer updates from January 1st to keep you guys up to date throughout the January transfer window for you guys here on YouTube. So do subscribe. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for my final video of 2023 and Etihad Stadium and Etihad Campus construction update number 2. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the 3 points. Bring on 2024. Peace. Ciao for now.